Hey everybody, a very important, very in-depth update about the S1 sealer. There's incredible highs and incredible lows, and that's just been this week. So stay tuned to the very end because it's all good in the end. This week, as I mentioned, this week has been a complete roller coaster. So it's now the 1st of March. I'd said we'll be shipping out the first samples in February. Unfortunately, one component got stuck in transit, then it got stuck in customs, then it got stuck in customs again, and I've never been so emotionally attached to a parcel. I've woken up every morning anxious about where it's going to be in the world. It's gone from China to Hong Kong to South Korea to Alaska to Memphis, and hopefully next week California in the factory. Now, I took the decision at our expense to fly parts to California to bring forward that timeline instead of shipping them via ocean. The ocean shipments are now overtaken that part that was flown, just a cost to us, to try and ensure we hit this February deadline. That doesn't matter, however, it's still March and we still haven't shipped those units. Now, those flown parts have not been completely in vain. The team have been able to sub-assemble all those small parts ready to be assembled into the final product as soon as the part arrives. That's really great because it means as soon as everything's ready, it can go out the door. There is one other piece of very bad news, however, before we get on to the other good news. Now, I took the decision to put Bluetooth into the product. Really important to enable you to be able to select a compostable bag or a high barrier bag without having to have a switch. And it also enables us to give you updates to the software without you having to connect it to your laptop like other models on the market. It also enables me to keep looking for even better materials that we can then ship to you and just put another button in your app and you go, hey, here's the new material. And you don't have to connect or do anything. However, by putting Bluetooth into the product, we'd have to do additional conformance testing, FCC and UKCA and CE marking, all that jazz. And it goes to a different standard as soon as you're radiating Bluetooth. Now, the chip itself is certified, but I didn't realize that you have to certify the board that the chip goes into and test it separately. That is an oversight on my part, and to this week we had the crushing news that by the time that's scheduled, booked, done, and the parts then made and shipped, it's looking like the end of March, which really means April. And that's the really crushing news. We've put in this awesome feature, but I underestimated the conformance testing and it's pushed the date to April. I'm still looking at ways to try and bring that forward, whether we can say, okay, well, we can ship them out with a test board and you can swap it out. You just 4 screws and click it in and boom, new circuit board, it's compliant. It may even be compliant after we've tested it. Who knows? You won't even need to, it'll just be compliant. So I'm looking to do that and bring that forward. I don't want to wait till April, I want to get them out into the world. Now, while we're waiting for those circuit boards, the team will be assembling all those parts that have arrived, finally, into the finished good. This sealing unit, all the parts for this, that one that's missing, will be here next week. They can assemble these and stack them up on pallets and just wait for the electronics, which is in a box inside and completely separate. So everything's here, we can keep making these, which means when those circuit boards are approved and arrived, the batteries are already here, they'll be able to pop in the circuit board, pop it all in a unit and ship it out the door. I really am trying to do everything I can to bring it forward. Okay, that is the end of the bad news. There's more good news. So I mentioned we're going to put Bluetooth in the device and that slowed down the electronic certification. However, it hasn't slowed down the app development. And while all this has been going on, I've also managed to make an iPhone and an Android app. They're sitting in the Play Store waiting to be approved and they're ready to go. It works. Like my iPhone's over there, my Android's here. You just open it up, turn on your S1, it connects automatically and you just choose the material. It's super simple. It doesn't know where you are. It doesn't collect any data. It doesn't need the internet. It just connects to that thing and you just choose the bag. You're done. Close the app, move on. You're probably never going to use it. You're probably going to choose which one you like and keep buying those and then just leave your S1. But it's done and it's important. That's a huge win and I'm stoked. And I've had a lot of fun geeking out over it amongst the kittens. The other final huge update is that this is a factory assembled S1. It's got all the mold modifications built in, tested, assembled by the staff, QC'd by me. That means we've had to go through the teething process of actually figuring out how all the modifications to the molds go together. We put quite a lot of changes into this, including one of the most risky changes that will not be appreciated by 99% of the people out there. But actually it's one of the things that makes the S1 so important. That gave me kittens all week. We had parts that were too small, and then we found a fix for that, and then we found something else. And I stared at plastic for hours on the end in the factory, putting and closing the plates, trying to work out how to put it together consistently, perfectly every time. And we managed to do it. And I'm so thrilled because it works. Amazing. Look at that, so cool. We've added a seal between the plates. And these plates, by the way, are one of the most overlooked problems with urine diverting toilets. 99% of people are not going to know why that's so important. But let me explain. The first thing we did when I designed a composting toilet is you talk to people and you ask them, can you aim? Like, can you actually use a urine diverting seat? First person I spoke to said, no, I could aim before, but after kids, no chance. Can't aim. Goes where it goes. That's why plates are important, not to stop you looking at crap. In a ceiling toilet, there's no crap to look at, but you need to keep the pee out of the bag. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a soup. So the plates diverting urine were important. Now, Cuddy's plates were great, but in a composting toilet, the truth is, you don't need them to be perfect. You need them to be pretty good. The composting process will help absorb some of that moisture and dissipate it. But in the ceiling toilet, most of it has got to stay out. That's why they're so important. You can't always aim. You've got to keep the pee out of the bag. Otherwise, you're peeing in the bag. It's going to smell. It's going to get manky. It's going to smell of ammonia. I didn't want to do that. That's why the plates are important. That's why the seal's important. And that's why we made a change to the plate. It was super risky. I've been working on it for over a year, and we finally put the final parts together this week, and they work. Like, we were like, no, it's going to get it work. We'll get it to production. It will work. And then we had the problem if it didn't quite work, and we had to figure out how to make it work, and we made it work. That was my week, and it was very stressful. But now I'm so stoked. Like, you couldn't knock me off. You can. Compliance managed to do that. So that's it. I'm really sorry about the bad news, and I'm really stoked about the good news. And that really is the truth around Kickstarters and pre-ordering a brand new type of toilet. We've done everything we can to try and bring it forward. It's all ready. It works. We're just waiting for the rubber seal to ship them out. If you're going away and you need a toilet first, let us know. We can ship you a Cuddy Light with all the sealer features that we have, and then you'll just drop in the sealing mechanism and the electronics and you're away. So let us know if you need to do that. It's more cost for us, but we want to make it right because it's not like other Kickstarters. You're buying a toilet, you need it, and it's summer. We need to get them out. If you have a question around that, message Erica or message info@CompoCloset.com. Emily will hook you up. We'll one of these out to you. They look amazing. Yes, they come without a standard. It looks amazing. I'm really sorry for the delay. We'll make it right. It's going to be amazing. Cheers, everybody. Where was I? I'll do that later. Okay, let's do that as a separate cut. Message Erica. Don't message me. I'm busy. Bring that forward, and I'm still looking at what additional. We have to go through it by putting Bluetooth. By putting Bluetooth the thing. Oh shit! I can itch. Okay, so this part, and then put the thing in, and yeah. While all that's been going on, they've assembled up, and then they've confirmed that you can do the right one together again. I do that order all the time, and it annoys the hell out of me. They've been able to get those waffle. Then batteries. They've said we won't talk about them. That's the gist of it.